My baby was my everything. Roger was my third son. Where we come from, you don't end up where Roger ended up. Roger wanted to show a 16-year-old brother that it was more to life than gangster rap, people stealing and making a fool of himself.
Have you ever heard the saying, when it rains, it pours? Well, for one family that was hit with two unforeseen back-to-back tragedies, it appeared the rain won't stop. In less than 3 months' time, a mother of 5 children would end up with only 3 children living after two separate incidents. One occurred in May 2024 and the other in July of 2024. One took place in Florida and the other took place in Georgia. Both situations were completely unforeseen, and both situations show the growing problem of gun crimes across America. No matter if it's law enforcement that is trigger happy or a trigger happy citizen, guns are destroying the African American community at an alarming rate, sadly leaving too many mothers to bury their children. Now, if we go back just a few months ago to May 2024, most people will remember the tragic story about Senior Airman Roger Fortson. In case you're not familiar with the case, let me give you a little breakdown. Roger was a young 23-year-old thriving black man that lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. It was just before 4:25 p.m. on May 3rd, and a female employee where he lived at the Ellen Apartments in the Florida Panhandle community would call the sheriff's office, saying a resident had reported a loud argument that had been going on for 20 minutes or so. It was said that it sounded like it was getting physical and that it was happening often. The employee gave the authorities Roger's fourth floor apartment as the location of the disturbance, but he was home alone. At the 911 operator's suggestion, the employee walked near Roger's unit and reported she didn't hear anything. The deputy would arrive less than 5 minutes later, according to body cam video. Long story short, deputies went up to Roger's apartment, banging on the door multiple times, all without initially announcing themselves and hiding out of the view of the peephole. On the other side of the door, Roger was on FaceTime with his girlfriend, concerned about who was at his door. This is when he armed himself in case someone was coming through the door. Once the sheriff did announce himself and Roger heard the deputy, quickly opened the door and was fired upon. Roger had his legal weapon in his hands, down to his side, and never raised it, but within mere seconds he was gunned down. All this went down with his girlfriend on the phone still, and he was right next to his dog, Chloe, that he loved so much. Sadly, as Roger was on the ground pleading for help after being shot multiple times, the deputy was still only concerned about the weapon that Roger never used. Sadly, Roger did not make it, and the case would make major headlines by the time the body cam footage was released of what happened. The tragedy became more heartbreaking because of the man Roger was. He joined the Air Force in 2019, the same year he graduated from Ronald McNair High School, a majority black school in the metro Atlanta area, where roughly half the students don't graduate in 4 years. The Air Force service was a lifelong dream of Rogers, and he rose to the rankings of senior airman. He was stationed at the Holbrook Field near Fort Walton Beach. Everything Roger did was for his family, especially his mother Mika Fortson and the two younger siblings he had, a sister and a brother, who both looked up to him. Roger wanted nothing more than to give his mother everything her heart desired and was already providing a lot to help her. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who was representing Roger's family, accused the deputy of going to the wrong apartment and said the shooting was unjustified. As the family of Roger spoke publicly about the injustice that took his life, the deputy that took his life was eventually fired from the department because the Okaloosa County Sheriff, Eric Aden, fired the officer, saying the deputy's life was never in danger and that he should not have fired his weapon. A Sheriff Office Internal Affairs investigation found that Roger did not make any hostile, attacking movements, and therefore the former deputy's use of criminal force was not objectively reasonable. Nevertheless, Roger's mother wanted more to be done and charges to be pressed against the deputy for his actions. At the televised homegoing service for Roger, his little sister and brother came up as Pastor Jamal Bryant spoke about the money Roger was saving and planning on saving for their future college expense. Roger took these two seriously and literally was in the process of giving them a better life. So Pastor Brian asked the community to keep his dream alive and donate to Harmony 10 and Andre 16. As of today, that GoFundMe has reached a little over $27,000, giving the family some little comfort knowing that the kids have some financial security for their future. However, that future for one of the siblings was snatched away less than 3 months after Roger sadly lost his life. According to authorities, the DeKalb police were called around 9:45 p.m. on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, to the Summit Hill Apartments on Boulder Crest Road. What started off as a peaceful night quickly turned into gunfire. Allegedly, 4 people hopped out of a car and 2 groups of people began shooting at each other for unknown reasons. When the perpetrators dispersed, 16-year-old Andre Fortson was found in a breezeway shot, according to authorities. Right after the crime took place, someone was heard yelling, "Andre, stay with us," while someone started giving CPR to keep him alive. Unfortunately, all the acts to save his life did not work, and Andre was tragically unalive just a few days away from his 17th birthday. As detectives gathered more info at the crime scene, it was said that Andre was an innocent bystander, literally the wrong place at the wrong time. However, the fact that he was all over the news just months prior, standing with his mother about the injustice of his brother, and now he has passed away from a gun crime, is just crazy. Ben Crump released a statement saying that the Forson family is battling the loss of yet another young member of their family, Crump said. This has been an incredibly challenging time for them with the loss of Roger. Losing the life of yet another young family member, a mere child, has been an absolute devastation.
Kiera Moore tells me her younger brother was best friends with Andre Fortson, and she tells me she's heartbroken that Fortson's family has to deal with another loss. Here are the details we've gotten so far. DeKalb County Police say they were called to the Summit Hill Apartments on Boulder Crest Road around 9:50 Tuesday night and found the body of the teenager with a gunshot wound in the breezeway.
It been on my mind heavy all night that Andre was shot, because it don't seem real, and I just don't want to believe that it was him.
The tragedy, she says, is worse for Fortson's family. In May, Andre's older brother, U.S. Airman Roger Fortson, was by a Florida sheriff's deputy. Andre was in the front row of the church as his brother was remembered.
He wanted to see them go to college.
Their mother must now prepare to bury another son, and Moore says she hopes the community can work to prevent another tragedy.
I know she's taking this very hard.
Mika has now lost not one but 2 kids just months apart, all behind gun crimes that Roger and Andre did not cause. Both boys were great kids for their mother, and neither one had ever been in the streets. Roger was serving his community. Andre wanted to make him proud, and now they are both gone. One loved one said that Andre was never disrespectful. He went to school, was a really good kid, and he did not get into altercations or anything like that. This young boy did not deserve this and should still be here. Though it was said to be multiple people shooting, a 20-year-old suspect was arrested on aggravated charges and booked into the DeKalb County Jail. Prayerfully, all the suspects involved are caught and brought to justice, because the mother now is truly in the fight of her life, seeking justice not only for one, but for 2 kids at the same time.
We're learning about a second victim in a shooting we told you about yesterday morning. DeKalb County Police tell us a 27-year-old man was also shot several times in the shooting on Boulder Crest Road. And this morning we know the 16-year-old boy who died was Andre Fortson. We know his older brother, Senior Airman Roger Fortson, lost his life in a deputy-involved shooting in Florida back in May.
I don't know how my auntie is going to get through this. I don't know how anybody would get through this. I don't know. I pray for her peace. I've been praying for her peace since my little cousin Roger passed away. But now I don't even have words.
While the family asks for privacy, they do want to know how and why Andre was killed. We do know one person was arrested and booked into the DeKalb County Jail, facing charges of aggravated assault with a weapon.
It is literally going to take the good Lord to give her strength to make it through, as well as the rest of the family. I just could not believe it when I read that he was gunned down. My heart instantly fell for Mika and the other siblings who can't seem to catch a break. One loved one wrote on Andre's 17th birthday, "Happy heavenly 17th birthday, Andre. Definitely not how anyone imagined celebrating you today, but God had other plans. Mika, I pray you find an ounce of peace today, knowing that Andre gets to celebrate his birthday with his big brother again. Your young men are going to be missed tremendously. Continue to watch over your family. I can't even fathom losing one, yet two kids back to back. And my thoughts and prayers are with Mika and all the loved ones and people who care for them in this continued difficult time. So please, I ask, don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in this hard time. And don't forget to hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.